Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We're back. It's a day. Probably can't see it much. It's very misty. And well, we are back with this the Candy with the 1500 watt motor. And we're gonna work on this thing. This fender right over here. That's backwards. Yeah. This thing's backwards. This thing is supposed to be the opposite way. So we're going to swap that. Also, our front brakes are dragging against here. Let's see. Maybe you can see here. Maybe. Yeah. You see the mark? The black mark going around? Yeah. That's the front brakes are dragging. We are about this close. Oh, I don't want to focus. Focus there. Yeah, it's dragging. So we need to loosen that up. We need to tighten all the bolts. Like tighten this, tighten these, tighten the axle too. That's a good idea. Tighten the axle up, and then we'll make sure everything over here is tight. All this stuff. Make sure the rear axle is also tight too. And that'll be it. That'll be the whole video for this thing. So yeah, I got my tools here. I got a knife here. This knife is going to be used for making the brakes, wider, brake pads to make it, not rubbing on the disc. And I don't know where my other tools went, but I have these. It's my ratchet set. It's a 40 piece. It's a workshop. We got this. And we got our wrench set. I think I have the Allen key somewhere in here in the garage. I'm not too sure. I'll have to look for that yet. But first thing to deal with is those brakes, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so let's get to it. So we have to somehow, we have to get this knife in here and try to separate the brake pad. Somehow we're gonna have to do this. Ah, jeez. This is gonna be hard. Oh boy. Come on. It's just going through the rotor. These are like slotted rotors, so I'll get back to you guys once I get this thing separated, and we'll go on from there. Okay, so what I've done now, I've removed the front brake. It's still on its line, so we're not gonna do it that much. There were these two bolts right here. These two bolts right here. Oh, I'm gonna lose that. These two bolts, they were tied on. So now we got the front brakes off. So here's the pads. They're on a little too tight. They are. So we're gonna have to push the pistons somehow a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, and see what happens. So yeah, we'll see what we can do here, and I'll come back to you guys once I get all finished. Okay guys, so I found out the issue. Every time I press the front brakes, which is up there, the pistons, I'll show you what the pistons are here. So the pistons are right on the back brake pad, like right over here, right behind that brake pad. When you squish them, the piston will make it close, like do this, right? Or just do this. So, hold on a second, guys. So, it will just do this, right? It's closing, but it doesn't want to open. So when you press the front brake, it closes and it stays closed. And it closes as much as it can until it rubs on the disc. That, my guy, is our issue. I found what the problem is now. The back brakes don't do that though. For some reason, the back brakes don't do it, but the front brakes do. The piston does not want to collapse back to where it's supposed to go. Right, it doesn't. It just wants to scrape against the disc. So what do we do now? Well, in this case, all we can do is just put that together and not use the front brake. Right? We cannot use the front brake because of that reason, right? So, yeah. Or what we can do is maybe we can just fully disconnect the front brake. But I don't want to do that because there's brake fluid and all that stuff. I don't really want to do that right now. So, yeah. Not sure what we're gonna do, but we do have back brakes, which is nice. They still work. They work nicely, but that's a problem. That's a problem right now. So not sure. Not sure what we're gonna do about that. I'm happy I took the thing off before I damaged the disc, but the disc is pretty damaged. Just black streaks. If I had brake parts cleaner, I would clean it all up, but not too sure. Maybe what we need to do is we need to lube up something in the brakes to make it, unfrozen, because it's not closing. It's closing, but it's not opening. That's the problem. So, well, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do fully, but yeah, that's something. So we'll put that together, and then we'll leave the front brakes alone, and I guess we'll go tighten everything up. I'm probably gonna call my friend and tell him what's happening, and we'll go from there. So yeah, I'll come back to you guys once I am done. Okay, well, so I got that fixed somewhat. I got the brakes back on, as you see here. They're nice and they're on there. Yep. Well, I guess now can't get the front brakes at all, but that's fine. That's okay. I might have to want to disconnect the front brakes entirely and have no front brakes, but I'm not too sure if I want to do that or not. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard of a job. All I have to do is remove those two bolts and remove those two bolts, and then this thing comes off, and then but then the thing is wiring here. I have to just I'm gonna take that off somehow, but we're not gonna do that. We won't. But for right now, I think now we're gonna do is tackle this fender. This fender is rubbing. So there are Allen screws right over here. There's two of them there, and there's a nut right behind here. There's another one right over there. Trust me, there's one there, and there's one right there. Yep. So we'll remove those three, and you can see the nut right there too. Yeah, remove those three, and then yeah, my friend is coming here apparently, maybe, if he actually wants to or not. And so we'll get that done, and yeah, actually I might do it later. Maybe I'll do it later. It's very easy, just fender swap and all that stuff, but the brakes were the ones that needed to be fixed the most. I might have to call on Social Sports one day and ask them, like, hey, here's a scenario, what can I do, right? And so, yeah. But I don't know, we'll see what happens then. The thing I don't like was the back fender here. Just gonna zoom in there. So the rear fender, it's not covering the whole thing. So when your tire is spinning, right, it's like round, 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 it spins and it splashes onto the seats. Like here, right? Sure if the fender is backwards. Maybe the fender is also backwards. I'm not too sure. Like, well, Comment down below if does that look backwards to you? It kind of looks backwards to me. It sort of does. I don't know. I am not too sure. But I guess that's fine. That's fine how it is. So, yeah. We've got so far, how many kilometers do we have on here? We have gotten 57 kilometers on this thing we drove. That's pretty nice. 57 kilometers. That ain't too bad for a bike so far. I mean, my green bike over here. This one I drove a lot. This thing has probably like 200 kilometers. This thing driven a lot. But, yeah. So, I guess I think I'm right there, I think. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed on this journey. And we will do a full review on this bike. We'll do a full review. When are we going to do it? Maybe next week. Or maybe do a Sunday. Maybe Sunday's vlog is going to be a review on this bike. Sunday I got nothing to do. Nothing, really. Really nothing. So, yeah, I think we'll review on this bike on Sunday. Tomorrow I have a graduation party I'm going to at my friend's house. And, well, that's about it. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I guess we'll see you on the next one. Peace.